Good evening. Hey, what's up? It's your guy, Greg Gray, Dope Living TV Live. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, welcome to the new week. It's getting close to the holidays. I hope everybody's ready. Um, when COVID hit, we had to change the way we did holidays, and we're still doing that. So just be careful. Have your holidays or do whatever you do, but just be careful, all right? Shout out to everybody that's out there that's living the dreams, making the dreams come true. Um, and yeah, those people that need us, we had some great shows last week, and we're going to try to keep shows like that going. We had some financial experts on Friday, and going to try, to keep them fueled up with questions. We want to make sure that we create financial health for everybody that's out there. But today, we are talking about intimacy versus sexuality. Is there a difference? Over the years, I've heard many people refer to being intimate when they're really referring to having sex. Is that the same? No, we were intimate yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but they're referring that to sex. I think there's a big difference between intimacy and sex, definitively. A lot of people think that it's synonymous with sex. Intimacy is synonymous with sex. We just want to talk about it today and find out truthfully, or definitively, I should say, is there a difference between great sex and intimacy? Now, what is intimacy? I mean, a lot of people talk about emotional intimacy. The term intimacy is where two people are willing to express their thoughts and feelings to each other. Deep intimacy requires a high level of transparency and openness. And people who engage in that level of connectedness are willing to share their worst failures and mistakes, their most embarrassing moments, their feelings of inadequacy, as well as their dreams, visions, and hopes for their lives. They are actually revealing themselves openly, honestly, and directly in a way. And that's what that's what emotional intimacy is. And, sex and emotional intimacy, how do we define definitively which one is what? And are people even aware that there is a difference between that? Everybody say hello to my
Hi. Hello, everyone. So, what was your question? The difference between what?
The difference. What is there? Is there? May not be. Some people don't think so. Is there a difference between intimacy, emotional intimacy, and sexuality? And me personally, I think there's a huge difference. I think one is the thoughts, and one is the action. Simply put. I don't. That's just me. Sex is the action. Intimacy is like foreplay, I guess. It's foreplay in the mind. So, I mean, what do you think?
Okay. Sexuality has to do with, my opinion, has to do with, pardon me?
I was just saying, Angela Dixon says, of course it is. Go ahead.
The physical act, sexual intercourse and the physical act, the cuddling and all that kind of things. But when you start talking about intimacy, it's more than just emotional intimacy. You have intellectual intimacy. You have experiential intimacy. You have spiritual intimacy as well. And I have my notes. Did I say intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and experiential? Emotional to me means more of where you feel comfortable enough, you feel safe and protected, whereas you can share your fears, your dreams, your thoughts without
Which one is
emotional?
okay?
Without fearing that the person that you're in this relationship with will not bring it back at you, throw it back at you, judge you for, telling about your fears, your dreams, your thoughts, and things like that. Then you have the intellectual intimacy, for me, whereas it's more so where we can have a good conversation. We can talk about different things. We can maybe talk about, let's say, why I feel college is a must for some people or not, and we can have a difference of opinions about things like that. We can watch a movie, and then have a good discussion about the movie. How did you feel about the movie? How did I feel about the movie? And you can just even talking about politics and current events, where you can start talking about different things, and then know that between the two of you, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, co-worker relationship, because relationship comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. And then you can discuss this intelligently, and it's okay that you have different opinions. Then
Okay,
when
so
it comes,
all of this is captured in the emotional or
no, that's intellectual.
intellectual. So
That part is intellectual. The emotional is more like, I can come, let's say if you and I were in a relationship and there were some fears I had, and there's some dreams, and some things whereas I feel comfortable enough and safe within coming to you. Let's say, if you were my mate or whatever, or husband, whatever. And I was like, Greg, I've gone through some things in my life, and da 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 da, and I just want to talk to you about some things. And I feel comfortable enough to tell you these things, whereas I feel you're my safe place. I don't have to worry about you going to someone else, blabbing, going to the boys or going to your sisters or other friends. And, Marcy was explaining this, that, and the other, and she was telling me, she's got some issues with this or her childhood or this, and then having to hear it again. That's more of the emotional. Hey, Maurice.
You see that grin on Maurice's face, right?
No, because he's got issues, and so does Chris. But that's the emotional one. Hey, Gina. Hey, Maurice.
Hey,
I think I want to.
Okay, so I get it. I get what you're saying. Okay, but I want to definitively, and thank you for the research on that. But I want to definitively describe or separate.
That's separate from the physical.
Intimacy versus sexuality. Okay.
Sexuality is the physical part. Intimacy, a lot of people say it's the same, but it's not.
What you did was you broke down. You said emotional, intimate. I mean, emotional, intellectual. Okay, so there's a bunch of things that are in the intimacy column. Does any of those things, and maybe somebody might beg to differ, do any of those things in the intimacy column equate to sex, or does it just lead to sex? I mean, I don't know.
It could lead to sex because now you feel safe with that person. And, and a lot of times if you feel safe enough with a person, that kind of opens up the relationship to more, I would say, more things. Think about it in a relationship. And let's say you're arguing and, you've been fighting all day. And it's to the point. Are you going to want to have physical sex? Well, you're male. Gina. Gina, let me come at you.
No,
Girl,
absolutely
right. Girl, you done? All right, let's go over here to the room. Let's work this shit out.
See.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I think they're two different entities.
Okay. Gina, what was you saying?
It is. And you know what? It's really a mindset. Like it depends on how you feel about that person. And that is going to determine whether it's intimate or whether it's sexual. If you have a deep feeling and you're connecting and, you're vibing with that person and y'all just have this connection, it is going to be intimate. You know the difference. And I know, Greg, you can't say you haven't. There's a difference when you had sex and when you were intimate.
Right, acting silly.
And, you just you had feelings for that person. It's
Okay,
totally different.
So why do people, like you women get in these conversations? 'Cause men don't say it like that. I'm just sorry. You women get in conversation, Tyrone and I were intimate last week. Okay, we were in, you used the word intimate and you equated to sex. Angela Dixon has a great point here. She says, first off, sexuality isn't sex.
Not just sex. Not just.
Okay, so let's just take the ality off of it and let's just talk about sex, intimacy versus sex. Okay, so like I said, explain that. A lot of you women equate intimacy with sex. Let's keep it 100. Y'all be like, well, we were intimate, because y'all talk like that. Because men don't.
That's just a cute way of putting it. Not want to say we just effed. We just screwed. We were intimate and.
Sheila, what's wrong with that?
He said effed.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, if you gonna say the word, if you can't say the word, then use another term or whatever. But we
screwed.
Look, okay, there you go. There you go. Because I'll say it. If Uji was on here, we just gonna have it'll be a whole different story. So I mean, okay, and that's cool, but again, that's where the question would come into play. Is there a difference between sex and intimacy? I'm gonna keep asking that question
and we're gonna keep saying yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna keep saying, what's the difference? Because I've heard that, all right, and I don't care what you say. The intimacy is it foreplay?
It can be. It can be.
Think about it. Okay, let's talk about
what it's leading to, and how do you feel about that person?
Okay, but now here, Marcy gave all of these different interpretations of intimacy. Okay, so some of those instances of intimacy ain't got nothing to do with sex.
Okay, and all of them don't have to. So let's talk about the experiential, where you're experiencing different things. Let's say you guys go out and you're taking a walk. You're holding hands, you're looking at nature or whatever, and just walking and talking and getting to know each other better. But then when you get back to the house, or if you're out of town or you're at a hotel or whatever, and you get back because you guys had closeness, doing different things, experiencing different things together. And then when you get back into close quarters, sometimes that could be like a form of foreplay. You're getting closer and you're feeling closer to that person. And then when you get back, it's like.
Can't read that, can you? I will. There's a such thing as my effing. No, there's a such thing as my fucking that leads to actual sex intercourse. All right. Is what she is talking about, is that intimacy?
No.
That's just straight doing it.
Yeah.
Y'all, you're not sounding really convincing. Okay, you're saying knowing the yes. I
think I'm convinced in what I'm saying. Gina sound like you the only one still puzzled. I'm confused over here. Sound like to me. What you think, Gina?
He lost.
Okay.
I don't think
or he's trying to make us come over there where he
because
is.
You know what? Sometimes people just have one set definition.
Right.
It's just sex, no matter what, no matter how you're feeling. That's just how they feel. That's all it is to them. Just like some people is effing,
Here we go with the effing stuff.
Well, that's what.
Wait, say another word if you can't say the word.
Screwing.
Okay, she just said that too.
And and there's and a lot of people don't realize there are different things in having sex, making love, and just straight screwing. Those are different things as well.
Okay, hold up.
But you can be intimate without having sex.
Mm-hmm.
What's that called?
That's what I was explaining. The emotional intimacy, the intellectual intimacy. You're still being intimate, means being closeness, friendship, close familiarity. So intimacy is not just sex.
It's not.
But sex is also physical sex is another definition for intimacy. But that's why I was breaking it down. There are more categories with intimacy. It's not just sex.
We can connect the two, though.
Well, it could lead
Greg
to
just
sex.
want to connect the two. He just
We can't connect the two, is what you're saying?
no, I didn't say that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. We can connect the two, though, right? If once you have that intimacy, I'm not going home if we're having the intimate moments, you know, and I guess there's levels of intimacy, like you said, Marcella. But when it gets to okay, let me ask this: is the touching and the feeling with your clothes on and everything, is that intimacy?
That is being intimate.
It can be. It can be. Yeah.
That is being intimate because you're making that individual feel like they're special. You make it, and it doesn't necessarily make them feel like, okay, I'm ready to jump into bed with you.
Why doesn't it though? You both are getting a heightened sense of sexual awareness now. That doesn't. I mean,
but that's not necessarily so. It could be the connection is growing. You're getting you're feeling connected to that person. That's intimacy.
Mm-hmm. The first time you hug someone, let's say in a new relationship, the first time you hug or give a pet kiss or something like that, you ready to jump into bed right away to have physical sex?
some people are.
Yes, some are, but most people aren't.
You saying most? Where do you base it?
I'm just saying a lot of people, just because, well, I've gone on dates, and if I hug you, that does not mean I'm ready to jump into bed with you.
Same about you. That's one out of billion. Okay.
It's a lot of people like that. It's not just me.
So there's no such thing as a sexual attraction at first sight.
Yeah, you can. Some people have that. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Oh, there goes that boy. Yeah, we got that on tape. Yes, sir, Maurice. Yes, sir.
I had to give me some cigarette. Should I?
Okay, so Maurice,
Yo,
was that intimacy?
it's my kind of intimacy. I mean, that's me and my wife. You know, that's our level. You know.
See?
Okay, and understanding that, Maurice, do you agree with what they were saying?
Well, I mean,
not in your situation.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I mean, because you know, some guys, they take it the wrong way. I mean, it just depends. If they don't really know the chick or know the lady, you know, and they just assume that, you know, things that they don't, you know, relationships that they had before, if they could go in those directions, you know, like she said, you know, just get a kiss on the cheek and they think, okay, I'm down, I'm finna get out. She doesn't let me kiss on the cheek, you know. They just assume. It depends on again, of the person. That goes back to the person. And a lot of guys just assume because of whatever relationship they was in before that they can go in and treat that woman the same way. You know, it just depends on what they was, you know, what they were in before.
Okay, so in a relationship situation, is intimacy one of the more important parts of the relationship, or is sex one of the more important parts of the relationship?
It depends again on the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And you know what?
A lot of people base their relationship on sex. You know, it's a part of the relationship, but you can't base it on sex. At least not in mine. That's from person to person.
And you know what? I believe that if you're looking for a long-term commitment, and you're basing it strictly on sex, that's not gonna. I don't believe that's gonna work, because you don't know if one of you might get sick.
It's not gonna last.
And just so much Viagra and Cialis out there, and that's not for all men. Can't take that. What if one of you, let's say, I know a couple that the woman had cancer and she couldn't do anything.
It's called getting older.
She could not do anything. But because the husband really loved his wife, he was just celibate. He was like, look, that's my baby.
Right. Forever.
Mm-hmm. And that's something, you know, so if that relationship was only based on sex,
hey,
that would have been a horrendous situation. Here she is sick with cancer. And now because you can't have sex, either you're going to leave her during the time she really needed you,
One of my
or
best
you're going to
friends.
go out there and, mess around, which then that means then your vows meant nothing.
Right. One of my best friend's wife, she caught breast cancer and she was sick. I mean, and that man loved everything about that woman. I'm gonna tell you something. Her name just happened to be Gina too. And he was crazy about it. I introduced him, and I can remember from the first time, day one, it didn't matter. When she got sick, and he called me and said, Maurice, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. She is sick. I said, do what you do all the time, man. Just be you. The relationship was solid as a rock, So, I mean, to death do apart, she passed, unfortunately. But he was there 110% right to the deathbed.
So you got to have those other categories of intimacy there.
Yeah.
The emotional, where you can just talk about a little bit of anything, the intellectual. Whereas, things are happening out in our country and things like that. But you can just sit and be close, whereas you're just sitting there, you're giving your ideas, you're throwing them back against each other, where you're not going to be ridiculed for what you believe in. Spiritual might be, you're praying together, at times when times are rough, knowing that, hey, regardless of whatever religion you are in, if you do believe in a higher being, that spiritual intimacy there, knowing that this man or this woman that I'm with can get a prayer through when we're going through, knowing that when we're going through the storm, we can still sit there.
And if you're both
pardon me?
And if you're both on the same channel, just make the prayer powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that you can just discuss things and, even without the sex.
So is there
intimacy?
I see. What is that?
Like scrambled eggs.
He's crazy. He said he intimate with his popcorn.
I would be too. Is there such thing as a fear of intimacy?
As what?
A fear of
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Why would you be afraid of intimacy?
It's like people call it fear of commitment.
Is that what it is?
Fear of commitment, past relationships. Let's say it could be from childhood. You might have had people that have promised you things, even childhood or adulthood, where people promised you things and it didn't come to fruition. Past relationships, being abused mentally, emotionally, physically. And so now I'm afraid to open my heart out and to be vulnerable, to someone in my future.
So how long do you have to wait?
Thank you, sex.
With this intimacy thing before you get to sex?
That's
it's not a handbook for that.
Right. That's up to the couple. That's up to the couple, what they believe in, if they're not married, if they believe in having sex outside of marriage.
But see, this is my thing though. To me, intimacy leads to making love, not sex. And that's totally different too.
And that's, you heard me say, making love, screwing, effing, those are all different things.
Effing. Don't say effing no more, please.
Screwing. Screwing. That's a whole different thing. Just screwing, that's just a physical thing. I'm gonna get mine. You better get yours before I get mine, because I'm gonna get mine a lot of times. It's just.
So what's the difference between? Let's get off of the intimacy right now, because we didn't pass the intimacy. Now we at the sex or the making love. The difference. What's the difference between making love and sex? Because those are the same actions. Am I correct?
No.
Come on, y'all.
No, come on, Greg.
Wait a minute.
Oh man,
it's not the same.
How old are you, Greg? You ought to know better.
No.
Come on. Come
No.
on.
Making love and effing is two totally different things.
Totally.
Don't say effing.
Poking.
Your word is poking. Her word is screwing. What's yours, Gina? The horizontal polka? I mean, what? Look, the
hokey pokey.
Look, let's see the similarity. You take off your clothes. You have the foreplay. You have intercourse. You go to sleep. I mean, what's the difference?
Well, there's a lot of difference.
I'm asking. What's going on, Brandon Griffin?
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, the
biggest difference.
Well, Jacqueline, Walton, Bree. What's going on? Go ahead, Maurice.
You know what? Oh, go ahead, Maurice.
Everybody's saying no.
Mm-hmm. No, the biggest difference is how you feel about that person. I don't know about y'all, but you try to take that person to the biggest height that you can take them every time you go. You know, every
Thank
time.
you, Brandon.
And you know, that's making love.
But aren't you trying to do that?
Hold on for just a second.
Okay, now Brandon brings a good comment here. Intimacy is being romantic.
Tell him, Brandon.
Okay, tell me, Brandon.
Tell him, Brandon.
Isn't romance?
School him, Brandon.
Isn't romance? Is romance making love?
Again, all of that is going to be how you feel about that person.
Is romance making love? You didn't answer my question.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so isn't sex and making love the same thing?
No, because with sex, all you're doing is trying to get your rocks off.
Rocks off. Good one, girl. Brandon says, sexuality is like a soul tie. It's just sex with no feelings. Angela says you can make love to a person and not be committed to that person. Thank you, Angela. Come on now.
I think that's
when you
having sex.
Plain sex, no emotion. What?
Yeah, that's to me is sex too. Because when you're making love, you want that person to feel. You want them to feel good. You want to make sure that they are satisfied. When you're having sex, you just want to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's just a straight physical thing.
Wait a minute. If you're having sex,
he's still trying to get his little in here.
I'm just asking the question. If you're having sex, don't you think that if you make sure that they're going to be good, then you're going to be even better? Come on.
No. It's a selfish act.
Brandon says,
thank you, Brandon.
Sex. He says that making love is an intimate relationship between the two. Okay, let's go back with the intimacy now. You just don't want to be committed to anybody. If you're,
cracking up.
Brandon, if you got a moment, man, come on here, man.
He's saying you, Greg.
I heard what he said. No,
you should be taking notes.
No, I shouldn't. Brandon, I'm asking questions. That's what I'm doing. It's asking the questions. I'm not saying
between making love and having sex.
You know what? Let me break this down to you, Greg.
Hold up, but sex is just sex.
Let me break it down, though.
That's a double entendre. Go ahead.
Let me break it down. When you're having sex, you are self-satisfying.
And you're satisfying the person.
No. You could get done, and you could care less whether they had a climax or not.
That's what I said earlier.
You could care less.
You're doing what you're gonna do. Look, I'm gonna get mine.
It's an act. It's an act. It's a selfish act because you are only concerned about yourself.
Okay, so with making love, you hear the violins and the piano. Okay, when you're having sex, you hear the Congo drums and
no,
I don't know. Accordions, what?
Yeah, hard gangster rap.
I'm just saying. Let's be real. Brandon, I used to be just have sex out of rejection and feeling unwanted, but now I'm waiting for the right one now so that I can have intimacy with someone I'm in love with.
Yeah, big difference.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference. I mean, we used to call it sports effing.
Call it what?
Sport effing.
No.
Effing. Quit using the word effing.
He wants you to use the word.
No, I don't want you to.
We're gonna be bleeped out.
Sports sex.
Sports sex. There's other words you can use.
Sports sex.
But we're choosing. All three of us have chosen to use effing.
Yeah, that's.
So we are expressing our
don't say
way of talking.
Don't say effing. I'm gonna mute you out. All right, we're gonna say that. We're gonna say something else if you can't say that word. But effing don't even sound.
Break it down, Angela.
Okay, people, let's break down the phrase making love. Angela, thank you. Okay, because
sex is a physical thing.
So is making
love is it's mental, emotional.
Okay,
It's
so
mental.
you're gonna
With
lay
the
there naked.
physical.
You're gonna lay there naked and look at them, and you're just gonna be thinking, right?
No, I didn't say thinking. I said mental, emotional.
So
It gets
but it's
into
also
the
an action. It's also
emotions.
an action.
I think the biggest thing is to me is if you've been intimate with somebody, you want to press all the buttons you know to press, and then find some new ones. You know what I'm saying? While you're making love. So you know what I'm saying, Greg? If you don't know how to make love to it, then you ain't gonna press all the buttons, and you know.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you guys say. Okay, all I'm saying is let's keep.
Let's break it
going.
down.
Brandon says I'm waiting now to be intimate. Sex ain't everything though.
Well, you know, friends with benefits, that stuff kicked off, and it just seemed like it never stopped.
I'm too old to just be having sex. I'm not, Brandon, and I'm older than you.
Oh, I
Dude.
know that's right. Ain't nobody trying to do
Ain't
all
no
that.
games, yeah.
What? It's not games. It's you doing what you like. Gina, well, in a sense, Gina's absolutely on point. You banging it out just to get your satisfaction, okay? But to me, if I'm banging it out, I'm gonna make sure that they get theirs too, okay? And that's just it. Is that so? If I'm making sure that they get theirs, and I get mine, am I just having sex,
You
or am
ain't just
I,
having
or am
sex
I,
if you
or am I
care.
making love?
You're not. You're not just having sex.
Yes,
You're
sir.
not.
Angela Dixon says, "How I see it is, if I'm in love, I can make love to whomever I want. I like her."
I don't get that, Angela. I don't get that one. I don't get that one.
Brandon says, "I feel as if people that have sex with no feelings is someone that deals with rejection." Interesting.
Mhm.
Look up
Yeah.
soul ties. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. You know, it kind of reminds me of the interview that I saw today with Jay-Z, and he talked about, people that have rejection, and when you look at them, those are the ones that say, "Why you looking at me?" They don't want you to see that hurt. They don't want you to see that pain. And so it's the same thing with sex. Like they don't want to get connected to anyone. They
What?
they don't they don't want to be connected to anyone.
You just want it only they want to be physically connected, but that's it.
So I call somebody and we have sex. Then I call them up and say, "Hey, it was great the other night. Want to do it again?"
That's a booty call.
But I've created a sort of
That's not intimate.
jump.
That's just sex.
What's intimate about that?
I didn't say it was intimate. Is it sex or is it making love?
That's sex,
Sex.
and that's sex all
Straight
night
sex.
long.
But you love what they
Sex.
do.
You love sex.
You love what
That's
happened. while you're on the
lust.
I
phone.
don't know.
That's lust.
I don't know, y'all. I mean, to me, first of all, I take it a little bit more serious.
Come on,
you know.
Maurice. Come on. I know
I
you're
mean,
on my side tonight.
huh?
I know you're gonna be on my side tonight, but come on.
No, I'm just keeping it real. I mean, keeping it real. If you want to be 100 and keeping it real,
Thank you, Angela.
you want to do it 110%, and it's just like the person that you really jumping in a sack with. Like you said, you got those people you just jump in a sack with. If you jump in a sack with them, hey, it's friends with benefits.
You've created that relationship.
But it can't be, making love. You know what I mean? Making love is somebody that you love. Making love. That's somebody that you're in love with, and you want to do your best.
And you
Well,
don't want
I
to be with
like
anyone
Coach
else.
And she'll do the same for you too.
You don't want to be with anyone else.
Right.
Take notes, Greg.
I ain't taking no damn notes.
I
I ain't
try to
taking
get
no.
my
Okay.
lighting right.
Let's go to no, I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead.
No, I was thinking about the stupid movie I watched the other night.
Okay, so I'm looking at something here that says 7 tips for having more intimate sex. Intimate sex. Okay, number 1 is
Now, where's it coming from? Is it coming from a couple's deal or is it coming from some book?
it's medically reviewed by a lady. It's medically reviewed by a doctor. Okay, here we go. Number 1 is redefine your original viewpoint on sex. Each partner brings a distinct viewpoint on sex into the relationship, and the attitude is usually formed from their own unique life experiences. Number 2, I'm gonna keep going down the line. Use your words and talk to each other. Now, these are 7 tips for having more intimate sex. Number 3, Embrace new experiences to improve your
Experiential.
relationship. No, embrace new experiences
Experiential.
to
Intimacy.
improve your sexual relationship. Couples whose sex lives are starting to plateau sometimes turn to new toys, new positions, and even sexual partners to spice up their bedroom activities. This might be caused by a failure to focus on your emotional connection with each other over the need for physical pleasure. Thank you, Gina. Number 4, don't be afraid to slow it down. Sometimes you need to take it slow. It might mean slowing down a conversation when it comes to your unique sexual desire or required level of intimacy from your partner.
If you're being intimate, you're gonna be slow.
Number 5, build an erotic love map together. You ask the question, what felt good last time? What did you do to turn each other on? What fulfills your sexual desire and makes sex better for you? What do you
Emotional intimacy.
sex more intimate for both of you? And what do you dislike? Number 6 is eliminate distractions. Cut the phone off. Pay attention to your partner. Put Teddy Pendergrass on, whatever. Number 7, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. I don't know about
Emotional intimacy.
Maintaining eye contact during sex. How many of y'all do that? Maintain eye contact during sex. While sometimes awkward at first, it can help you connect sexually.
It just depends.
How many people do that?
It just depends.
Yeah, depends.
It depends on, how you getting there. You know what I'm saying? That might be something she won't write down. You dig into her soul from my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Angela says you can't make love without vulnerability.
That's what I mean. You dig into her soul through her eyes.
Yeah, but if I ain't trying to look at you, man. I ain't.
You trying to shoot your shot, man. You trying to.
He thinking about somebody else.
Now,
Okay,
now,
you're like, I don't want to look at her. I'm thinking about this
I
other
have
one
a
over here.
question on that one. Why? Why are you afraid to look at
I'm not
someone?
afraid. I just don't want to. She got the fuck face going, right? Okay.
Oh.
He didn't even use effing.
Oh Lord, he said it's sick.
I'm not gonna use that.
Woo!
He didn't even use effing.
Brandon said, "Look, Greg look like a pimp."
Has anyone talked to Jeff today? Was he coming on because Greg needs counseling? I did text Jeff. I said, Jeff, Greg needs you.
Angela says,
Wait.
I mean, you
Go on, Angela.
Not effing.
I never said I wasn't. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh.
If she growling and all that, I'm not trying to face it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. If
Okay,
she laying there looking pretty, you ain't doing something right.
If she laying there looking pretty,
if you got your face on it, she going like this.
And look, and then her man be like, what the hell is he doing?
Well, trying to do. Is he in? Has he started?
She laying there looking pretty, answering her phone and doing all that stuff, and just looks so beautiful, like the right before, like she did right before we did it. Yeah, I'm doing something wrong, or I don't need to be with this person, okay? Because when it comes to that time, okay, your hair's not good, your face makeup and all of that stuff it's melting, okay? So I'm like, hey man, let's get it, but don't look at me, all right?
Don't look at him.
Because I tell you, me personally, if I'm looking, I'm down or up, it don't make a difference. I'm looking up, and she sweating profusely. All right, because I don't sweat when I do it. I don't sweat. I'm cool like that. But when I'm a pimp. All right, but when I don't want to see the face, Gina. I'm just saying I don't want to see that face. That's the ugliest face, and she ain't even an ugly woman, but she done transformed into something or morphed into something else. I'm hitting it good, then, boy. That's my. I'm having sex. We being really intimate. And I'm making love to the idea of tearing that ass up. All right. So I've done all
just
of
gonna
them.
intermingle it all
together.
And it don't even sound right.
It don't sound right to those of you that are making just love, okay? Isn't making love just boring sometimes?
No.
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 Not if you with the one you love. That's
No.
for damn sure.
Okay, so if you're not with the one you love, how come people be saying? Because I made the mistake too, and that's just to make her do it better. Girl, I love you. She'd be like, "You do." You know, it just gets you a little bit better, okay?
Oh,
But
wow.
then at the
He
end,
need help. He need help, y'all. Somebody help him.
at the end, all of the love just skeet out of you, okay? Then,
So you just doing that to, oh gosh, that's terrible.
But
We
you know,
do need Jeff on here right now.
You just throw the point out there. You did something to make her feel like, you know, that she wanted to get down better.
exactly.
You
See?
did. You did, but
Jeff coming on. Yay. He's coming. He's coming.
What that mean?
You need counseling.
He ain't gonna silence me.
No, I didn't say silence you, but
And see, wait a minute. Let me, please, audience, let me explain something to you. I am just being the devil's advocate. That is what I subscribe to. These ladies on here and Maurice are trying to make me out to be a sexual deviant, and I am not. Okay.
hey,
I love love. All right, I do. But I love sex.
you love making love.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
Put it
love
in.
How you gonna say we
Barry
making you
White.
out? We're making you out to be like that.
Because that's not you guys are saying Greg this and he gonna come on here, you need counseling, this and that. It's not I'm asking questions. I'm just asking questions. You know, I just want to some people look, some people want to know these questions. They don't know. All right. I know for a fact that I got 21, 22-year-olds watching this show and they want to know, okay, am I fucking or am I making love? Okay, because
They better go ask their parents.
They ain't gonna ask their parents. That's why they like it.
at that age, they done heard a whole lot in the streets. So
Yeah.
Right.
And
probably know more than all of us.
About
And
screwing,
we up there.
Not the real deal. That's
Gina,
all about
okay,
screwing.
there goes Gina's word. Gina, you only use the word screwing. Marcy, you used the word, what was that?
Screwing.
Okay, y'all only use screwing. Maurice, you use which word?
Poking.
Poking. Okay?
I didn't hear my say that.
Y'all all use that word, okay? Just use that word.
Okay.
Brandon, what's your word? Copulation. I mean,
Copulation. I'm copulating. I copulated last night.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Copulation.
Great copulation went on, you know?
So there is a difference.
Like that right there.
Dang, Maurice, you got sound effects too, huh?
Oh my Lord. Oh Lord.
Stop it, Maurice.
Okay, well,
Yeah, this is gonna be.
It was copulation land last night.
This is Dope Living TV After Dark for real. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Because here's my question.
oh, here we go.
What
You
happens?
can't even get out.
What happens? What happens when, since we talking, and you could probably answer this. What's going on, Felisa?
I'm gonna look down because I don't even want to. I'm scared of his question.
Answer this, Maurice.
I'm gonna answer this question. Go ahead.
Okay, Gina, fine. You answer it then. Okay.
Go ahead.
What is what happens when air getting in when you're having it?
You know what? That was a question for the
talking, baby.
I'm just saying.
The sex doctor. She answered that question for you.
Yeah, nah.
It's just air in there. That's all. And it.
Yeah.
Hear it.
Nah, she won't know. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
J Real.
What's up, y'all? What did I
Have you been listening in?
on?
Have you had a chance to listen in?
No, but it was enough going on. But I just came on the back end of this talking about air.
No, we haven't even got to the back end yet. We just in the middle.
Really?
Let me
answer that question first, though, Gina. Since you said I'm going to answer this question, okay? When the
you have to answer. It's just like Marcy said. It's just air.
Oh, it's talking to you then, huh?
No, not really.
Go, baby, go.
Communication.
No, you might have a little space in there.
That seems like a suction. Okay, well that means he's too small.
Not really either. I mean,
it's just air and the way the thrust is, where you're thrusting and stuff, and it's the air is there.
She's not moist enough. Is that what it is? I don't know, Jeff.
Hey,
Jeff said, I'm a coach, not a doctor.
Hold up.
Hey,
now, where y'all at?
hey, she gonna tell you it's air. You just take her word for it, man. It's air. You asking the wrong man about that.
I don't know. They said it's air.
Maurice, show him the sound effect.
Maurice got it down.
Maurice, no, Maurice. Yeah, that's the air I'm talking about. But see, Maurice, this is sex. All right, and what you do, I can't do it, but what you doing is the air part. Okay, Jeff, go ahead.
We still talking about this air?
I know you don't want me to bring him on.
Hey, Chris.
Oh man.
Hey, Mills.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mills.
What's up,
No,
Chris?
It ain't necessarily about the air, but look, Jeff, I'm sorry. Intimacy, sex. Is there a difference?
Yes. There is a difference. The sexual part is more so it's the physical aspect of it. Like I was just talking to Megan about this a little bit ago. The intimacy is more so the connection that two people have before the actual act of sex. You know what I mean? That could be more so the mental part, or it can be physical, but it's physical without intercourse. It's physical without any genital stimulation. You know what I mean? So intimacy is more so of that coming together, two people before you have the act of, because that's actually what makes the act deeper.
And that can be.
Yeah, you want to give more to it when you actually do that before.
Doesn't that sound like he's repeating what we said?
Right. And that doesn't necessarily have to be right before the physical act. Like I said, with the emotional thing, that's something that you can be, just doing normal, where you're able to she's able to, he or she is able just to share things with you. And then they really feel safe. And that's just something where they're making you more prone to want to be with you physically. And then with the intellectual thing, knowing, like I said, being able to talk about any and everything. And these are things that happen not necessarily in the bedroom, not necessarily right before you're going to the bedroom. These are ongoing things.
Yes.
Chris, hush.
Hey, Greg, you need some help, bro?
Yeah, man, come on, dude.
I got it.
Chris,
don't
Chris, don't throw no logs on his fire.
Okay, look.
100, Chris. Go ahead.
Let me be 100 with you.
Yes, sir.
Sexuality is not always physical, also.
This is true.
All right.
So when you're talking about intimacy and sexuality, it's one and the same.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
But they're two different meanings. It's like there and there. They sound the same, but they spell different.
Y'all better come on.
So when sometimes you can have sexuality and don't have anything physically happen. You can be, when a woman says "make love to my mind."
Well, I think Angela brought that up when she said mind screwing earlier. She brought it up.
That can be sexuality also.
Now it's screwing.
Man poking.
That can be sexuality also. But Jeff is right also. You know what I'm saying? The intimacy is further more than sex.
But that's one of the reasons, though, when you talked about earlier, Greg, when you said, why is it women, when they get angry or they're mad at you, they withhold the sex? It's not that they're withholding the sex. It's the mental thing. Women, they love with their mind.
They withhold.
You guys are physical. Women are more mental and emotional.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that you're withholding it or trying to not to give it to you because certain things. It's more so
learn to be a safe cracker.
It's because you just erased that emotion.
And Chris, something else that Greg said earlier, take off the ality and just go sex versus intimacy. And so that's where how we started with going into the conversation with sex versus intimacy.
Because when you got a lot of people that talk sexuality on how someone dresses. You know,
I've heard of that as well.
that's not being physical with someone. You know what I'm saying? It's a look. It's what you see, as they say, the lion eyes, quote unquote. It's what you see, and then start thinking mentally. Like you can see a woman. I mean, that's one of the big things with social media. They say it's so sexual, but it has nothing to do with sex per se, physically.
So that probably explains how a man can jack off and not have sex.
And again, explains how a woman can do the same thing.
Thank you. She see our little boy.
Chris,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
on his side.
It's one and the same, but like Jeff explained, it is different also.
Anyway,
she all over you.
What you do wrong, Greg?
In your game,
I
baby.
just ask questions.
Oh, okay.
Your game, baby.
Okay, and I say this. This is what I say. Intimacy leads to sex. Okay, and after sex, all the intimacy skeets up out of you. Okay,
But you know what, big bro? You know, sex can lead to intimacy also.
Reverse?
Yeah.
What?
You can be very intimate in a sexual act.
All I'm saying is this.
Oh, here we go.
Angela says, when a woman feels safe with a man mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, she has now been mind fucked, which is the actual act of physical sex. But what are we waiting on?
I mean, you gotta.
Jeff, I didn't mean to say the F word. If that made you leave, dude, dang.
No, it's not. That's crazy. It's not that we're waiting. You know, so let me say, and Gina said it earlier. Women get aroused mentally, guys get aroused physically. So we get aroused from what we see. Women get aroused about if you convince them on what you're saying.
How you make
You
them
know what?
feel.
What do you say? If you convince
How
them
you
of
make
what
them
you
feel. Yeah.
so wrong.
Yeah, but, I mean, and that's
But
a
it's
good
true.
point, Chris.
You gotta unlock the mind.
That's a good point, because think about guys that get with women and don't care nothing about them, but they make them feel so
Right.
good. And
Like Greg
you know,
just said.
and
Greg said the same
you
thing.
they can have a man that
I
they
love you,
know
baby.
is cheating on them with other women, but when they're with that woman, she feels so special. So what Chris is saying is absolutely right.
I'm saying that he's wrong. I agree with it, okay? But my thing is this. Okay, so that means that intimacy is foreplay.
It
Can be.
But it can be. That's what I said
Then
earlier.
foreplay, and foreplay is the touching and all of the caressing. And now
more play.
You've been mind fucked now, okay? And so then it's leading.
But think about this. Intimacy is also a couple walking in the park holding hands. That's intimacy. They're not screwing.
That's not intimacy.
That is
It
intimacy.
is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
like intimacy could be
That's
on
what
a
I
date.
said earlier.
Courting is intimacy also.
Yeah. You take that woman
It's
out.
closeness. It's closeness and familiarity.
Because you have the courting is the making the woman feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
I've
that's
been saying that the whole show.
He is. But sexuality is the same way, because if she has on something sexy while I'm courting, it's still the same thing. I'm giving her what she wants. She's giving me what I want to see.
I don't think it's the same though, Chris. I don't agree with that because
only reason I say it's the same is because sexuality is just not.
Say that again. It's not what?
Sexuality is just not physical. It's not physical. Like intimate, the way you're intimate with a woman, you can also be sexual with a woman without being physically sexual with a woman.
But
It's like
the emotions are not the same.
They are.
When you talking sex, you're talking self-satisfying.
But
you talking about self-satisfying.
But you
self-satisfying.
You can build up. You can build up. I mean, and women do it a lot too nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's more of them. Like, have you ever seen the meme of the different classes, and the different classes are different dudes. And they say, what class would you be going to all the time, or what class you would be skipping to go to all the time? That's a intimacy. Well, that's a sexuality situation, because quote unquote, from the woman's eye, the man is attractive. So sometimes nowadays, in today's world, a lot of women that say what's on their mind. It's not like it was back in the day when it was kept inside. They say what they want nowadays.
Okay, so let's get off of this relationship thing, and let's just talk about, sexual situations. So if you're in if you're going to get a massage, you're going to get a massage.
I saw that video. I'm like, hell to the no.
Get the massage.
Did you guys see the YouTube? Not the one on the show.
Your life. Okay, first let me read Brandon's comment. He said, "Why you think they had to put the first Adam to sleep?" Hate to say it, but us always
That's a good comment. That's a good comment. I like that.
Angela says, intimacy provokes sexuality, and sexuality provokes acts of sex. Thank you.
Okay, let me read something real quick about human
sexuality.
Hold on, no. Let me finish my thought. So, go to massage parlor, and there's different types now, different types of massage parlors. And let's say you go to the one where you get that happy ending. All right, is that intimacy or is that just sex?
What you mean happy ending?
Why are you going to a massage parlor? Why are you having sex at the massage parlor?
Wait. That's called prostitution,
bro.
That sounds like prostitution and all that to me.
Let me say
hips and hoes.
Let me say this real quick, because you have some of the most wealthiest people that do that.
Yeah.
Well, they just bored and they don't know what to do.
No, it ain't that. It ain't that.
They got time to have to build a relationship.
Yeah, that's what they do. They go massages, get happy endings. But
that's prostitution, ain't it?
No, I know a lot of guys in Texas, millionaires in Texas, to do that.
Yeah, because if you get it from your special woman, lady, girlfriend, or who you with, it's that prostitution.
You're in a relationship with that person.
No, you're not in a relationship with
them. They know exactly what you want to get.
It could be a person you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You know, the guy's main thing is all trying to get the massage started. That used to be the thing to get the massage started, and it starts everything else from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
That used to be in the 90s, early 2000s. That was the thing to do.
Yeah,
they got a couple of spots in Vegas, don't they?
Yeah, they got a lot of spots in Vegas that do that.
Got a lot of spots everywhere. Hey, Brandon says to some people that he's had sex with when he got himself together, he regrets the people he had sex with. Because his dad was just having sex because he got 24 children.
Do you because like even if you see the women,
he's shaking it off.
Have you seen the women that get the massages by the guy? They be nude, but the guy have, you know what I'm saying, those physical massages.
Yeah.
And he massage and rub his,
I originally looked at that video. Oh boy, had his hand in the crack of it and coming down hard. Yeah.
Did you see the YouTube? The other
ironing it out. He was ironing that mug out. Wow, both legs.
Brandon said that's why AIDS and HIV is so heavy. And when they catch something, they be scared to go get what is it? I don't get that last one. So that's when they catch something, they're scared. Angela says dealing with and committed to what's the difference, Chris?
I mean, my wife.
You can't come on, Brandon. Come on, dude.
What was the question?
Dealing with and committed to. What's the difference?
You have women and men. Women have men that they just deal with to scratch that itch, and you got some that's in a committed relationship.
Okay, like friend with benefit, and then
we grown.
Exactly.
We grown up in here. We know we got some people in here that has that one friends with benefits. Right. Want to call it. You know what I'm saying? That people who's been in that situation before, and you got some that's in a committed relationship. You even got some that's in a committed relationship that got side people. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Marcy, Marianne, we were at a resort in southern Alabama on the coast. And she went and got, you know, one of those really, really, you know, detailed massage with hot rocks and everything. It wasn't nothing like that though. Nothing like that video. And she was like butter when she came out there. You could have pulled her into the bed. She went to sleep for like 12 hours, you know.
You know, I'm reading, we were talking about the sexuality, and this to me is it in a nutshell. Human sexuality is the way people experience and express themselves sexually. This involves biological, erotic, physical, emotional, social, or spiritual feelings and behaviors. Because it's a broad term which has varied with historical context over time, it lacks a precise definition.
So why do people always relate that to what, intimacy and not just straight sex? I mean,
it's because this is what people are doing. That's why.
It's just society.
It's because when you look from relationship to relationship and person to person, a lot of people always believe that, okay, look, when I meet this person, we're gonna go out in a couple of days, and now it's expected for somebody to sleep with somebody. You know what I mean? So it's expected for that to happen. What's up?
Just one date, that's all.
Sometimes some people would take just one. Some people would take one. Some people would take several, a few.
Maurice, look at your face.
But that's some people though. You know what I mean? But normally when we look at society, when you look at a movie, you look at a video, you look at something, it's always interpreting like what happens after that date, after that night. You know what I mean? What we gonna do? Am I gonna kiss her when we go ahead, get to the stairs or whatnot, let her go to the place, or am I coming upstairs?
This is what I said though. Once, if you're having sex, all of the love and all of the extra stuff that you did to get in there, it skeets right out, okay? And then you be ready to go. You're ready to bounce real quick. You know, we don't, you know, your phone might make a little noise, and you look at and you lie to her and say, well, hey man, look, that's my mama. She's sick. I gotta go. Okay. You make excuses, okay, because the love is not there. All right. So what?
I think we're talking about apples and oranges because, you know, I'm in a relationship, so
you can use apples.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's you know, I'm in a relationship. I've been there for 30 years.
But you know what, Maurice?
When we first, I think it was like we talked about earlier on the show before this, where respect came in, and it was a totally different vibe. It went from knowing her to intimacy, and then from intimacy, when the sex was, I was trying like one of the comments that was made, trying to get that mind fuck going on. You know.
But when you're in a situation like yourself and Jeff and myself, when you're in a long-term relationship, the thoughts are okay. Yours ain't long-term yet. It's getting there, but your thought pattern. Some of the things that you guys are talking about just go straight over our head because we're not in that state of mind.
Oh, you saying we like microwave?
And at some point in time, you graduate from that too. Yeah. Like it's stuff I was doing beforehand, you know what I mean? But now that I'm with Megan, I wouldn't even think about doing that now. It's not even at the forefront of my mind. Right. When you with somebody who can fulfill you all types of ways, you know what I mean? And you finally meet that person, you know what I mean? A lot of people it's like what Brandon said on here. He said people have sex with other people to fill a void. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people cheat because they're not getting what they want from the other person. It's to fill that void sexually. It really is. And I didn't realize that. Like I said, I bring up my lifestyle stuff sometimes while I'm on the show. And I'm telling y'all, when I went through all that, like just going through, doing whatever I want to, I was having sex because I was filling a void. And it wasn't until
But you didn't even know it. Did you even realize that?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it at the time. It was a phase. It was a phase that I said that had to run its course. And I said, when I get sick and tired of it and I'm done with it, I'll be done with it. But it just so happens that I was around so much, doing so much. It was just like I was tired of it. I was done. took 90 days for a brother to tap out, and I was good. I was like, you know what? It's more to life than just.
Hey, Jeff, you coming up? Are you bull tonight? Yeah, I'm full of bull right now. I ain't going nowhere,
hey, man. That's all it took. Because it's like, I ain't gonna lie, because I was literally having sex on a consistent basis. Consistent basis.
Yeah.
And sometimes way more on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? It was times when I get off work and I go ahead, I meet old girl, we go to the room or whatever. You know, she go ahead, she pay for it or whatnot. It's times when I go ahead, I go before or after work, all my off days. We was sitting up here meeting sometimes 3 to 4 times out the week, yo. You get to a point where you like, damn, I'm drained. I'm done. You know, so I just got done and tired and I wanted to chill out. So I let it run its course. That was it.
That's interesting.
I know I feel you on that, bro.
Watch them words, bro.
Don't watch the words.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
I am, and I'll be transparent. I'm good right now. It's been a minute. I ain't gonna lie. I'm with Jeff. I used to do it on a consistent basis. All right. When you in the entertainment business, people come, there's no effort. They come, you make them come. I mean, they it's easy. But when you're, and here's the part, and maybe, and I got to say this too. I don't get no good comments when people comment. I don't never get one. I don't know the last time I got good comments. That's good comment, Greg. It's always from all of y'all, man. Okay, so like I need somebody to roll with me on this. Okay, so yeah, doing all of that stuff. But when you I never had to look. Okay, but when you are when God brings that one to you. And you're not even expecting it,
the smoke kind of clears.
It just it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because you feel, and with a woman, I don't know how y'all would feel, but I know that I would feel like I want to make that woman the most important woman where she's at because of what the actions that I do. So if she's at work, I might call, I might send some flowers or something like that. I'm just being general. And there she feels like she's the most important person in there. Okay. I might even buy the whole office lunch. Why? Because of her. That's where she's at. And now all of the women in the office are saying, oh man, that is so sweet. I wish I had one like that. Okay. That's intimacy to me. Okay. Making her feel like she is the most important woman in the world at all times, basically. Because of the actions that I do. Have I been like this all the time? Never. I haven't. Okay. But it's kind of cool when you just take yourself out of that situation and become something different. It's kind of cool. I like it.
That's what's up.
That's awesome. But then
you got me, brother. I'm on your side. Good comment.
Now I'm waiting on the comments on the side because they ain't gonna come up. But
I'm sure you can determine the difference in sexuality and intimacy. Because right now what you described is intimacy and romance.
Exactly, right.
That is what I said. It's intimacy. Okay.
And that's what we've been trying to say.
I've been asking questions though. I've been trying to play devil's advocate, okay? But because I just want to make sure that you guys are giving everybody the answers, even if there's some naysayers out there. You guys answer perfectly what naysayers would ask. So I applaud you guys on that, okay? Because y'all came at me and so did the comments, okay? Greg, you ain't shit. So basically, it's that simple, Greg. That's not a good enough comment. I need some other one. I need some angels and some hearts and stuff popping out there. Like, oh, Greg, that's so sweet. But I'm not gonna get it. All right. So, in a nutshell, really, intimacy. There is a difference between intimacy and sex. I'm not going to even say sexuality and sex. I truly do believe that. And I guess once you get through, well, let me ask y'all this: does intimacy ever end? Once you get to the sex, I don't want to see it in the private chat. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I ain't gonna say this, Marcy. I'll leave it out there. But is there a different? I mean, is there a once you get does intimacy end once you're in the relationship? You didn't hit it now. You got it. So now you know you can get it now. So does the intimacy end?
If it's true intimacy, I don't see why it would end, because that should be ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, you have the comment, people say you got to work at it. I mean, that's part of the work.
Right. If you don't work at it, it can end.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
I don't see it. What are you gonna say, Gina?
No, I said it's not something that just happens and it's just going to keep happening. You got to put the work in.
Start taking it for granted, then.
I don't know, because I see it as a lot of people say, like, when you with somebody, it's like a honeymoon phase. But my thing is, when I'm with the woman I'm with, I'm always attracted to her, always.
And see, but that's you. That's not everybody's not like that.
I'm speaking from a personal standpoint, because he asked if it has to end. Right. You know what I mean? And I feel that it doesn't, because I feel that if you are with that person, you are attracted to them. You know what I mean? It's gonna be certain things you're gonna do. You might come up behind them and you might hug them. You might go ahead, rub on their back or their neck a little bit. You know what I mean? I might go ahead, put my arms around it, give a little kiss on the neck, do something, because that's in me to do. You know what I mean? Because that's my woman. That's in me to do.
Keep
and this stuff she'll do to me because I'm her man. You know.
But that's true, Jeff. But you got to go back to what Maurice said. You got to work on it, because when you're talking longevity, sometimes those things drop off. Sometimes you just working hard and you're not able to do some of the things you used to. So that longevity will kind of define whether or not you're working on it, so and it can end.
That's all. That it's gonna be good. All right.
Well, I guess because I'm
the question: does it? Can you sustain it? Can you sustain the intimacy
with work? With work, yes, with work.
And I guess because I don't know if it's an age thing. I guess because a lot of younger people, we don't like to hear that word work when it comes to stuff, because it seems like when we say work. No, I don't mean it like that though.
I know what you mean.
When I mean work though. I want y'all to really understand what we mean from our end when we say work. When coming from the 30-year-old's perspective and we talk about work, that means you actually got to try to put a lot of effort towards it, or you got to try to make it happen, or you got to force something. When you talk to a lot of ones our age, we look at it like we really feel that, like, you know what, we at the point where it's like, if you feel a certain way about me, I feel a certain way about you. Let's express it. You know what I mean? Let's express it freely. You know, this is what a lot of what we're talking about, expressing freely. So that way, nothing has to feel forced. Now, we like to be reminded, not much so work on it, but let's remind each other that we still love each other, that we still care. You know what I mean? Because
that's part of work.
That's work. But when you say work, I'm trying to let y'all know. I'm telling y'all from a 30-year-old's perspective. Yeah. I'm just letting you know from a perspective. 30 more years. I ain't throwing no shade at it. I'm throwing perspective.
But you youngins haven't even hit that 10, 15, 20-year mark yet.
But see, y'all talk about youngins and all this stuff. It's not about that. Because listen, y'all remember, I was with a woman who was 30 years older than me. And you know what? I didn't work at it. I did it because it was what was in me to do.
Probably trying to bang up.
See, we talk about work and sustainability, but come on, let's be real. When you love Gina, you love Robert, right?
That's right.
You gonna go up there, you gonna hug that man, you gonna kiss that man when you feel in it, right?
Yep.
There you go. That's because it's in you to do. And Robert gonna come at you when you feel that way, right? Maurice. Yep. You love your wife to the fullest extent, don't you?
Oh, you know, 110.
You gonna go ahead, you gonna hug and kiss your wife when you feel up to it, right? When you want to show that love and affection, you gonna do that, right? because it's in you to do. That's the point I'm trying to make, y'all. I understand life happens, but let's be real. What's in us as human beings is to show that love and to show that intimacy. We have to remind ourselves that we have to do that to one each other. Let's get the work out of it. Let's get the work out of it, because work, I go to work for 8 hours, but I don't come home to talk to my wife. That ain't no work.
I got you.
I don't work on my wife for 8 hours. Work is what I do when I leave out the house.
I think what it is a generational thing. Just you say, we say put in work. That's the part where we say we come home and we want to, we want to come in there and do the kissing and the hugging. It's not a routine. It's something that you come in there and you can walk by and look at it and say, kiss on the neck, or grab around her waist.
Yeah, work sound like a routine, brother. It
I know.
Like a routine.
It's just what it sounds like when you say we say work. That's what.
Right. It's just two different interpretations.
Right. Same thing.
Different interpretations.
Yeah,
because we know, when you in a long-term relationship,
take things for granted.
Sometimes it's just a matter of you, like you said, you got to remind yourself and you got to remember, and sometimes you get to that mark where you feel like, man, I done gave this man 20 years. Maybe somebody could have I could have got me a millionaire. I could have, but that's life. That's human. That's human.
Yeah, and then sometimes careers get in the way, family get in the way, and regardless of how you're really feeling about that person, like you said, you come home, you just because of your love for this person. But then when sometimes careers, families, as you get older, you might have parents or something you're taking care of. And it's not a matter of, let's say I'm in a relationship with whoever, that I don't love this person, I don't care for this person. It could be that I done worked at 9 to 5, I done come home, I had to take care of parents, or go to a nursing home, or done this and done this. Then I might have children over here or grandchildren. And then it's like, you're just so tired. Yeah. And it's like, you have to remind yourself at times that, okay, even though we have all these other things here, this is who I made my vows with. This is who I'm committed to. And it's like, regardless of how tired I am, I still need to do these little things. And so as you get older, sometimes it's like, okay, I've been with this person for 20 years. Okay, today I'm just going to come home, jump in the shower, I'm going to get into bed. And then it becomes kind of routine. And so that's what like you said, it's the word that it seems like the younger people don't like of work, but that is putting in the work, regardless of how tired I am. I might have worked 12 hours. I might have had to, do something over here, but I have to remind myself, this is my husband, this is my man, or whoever, he is. And regardless of whether I'm tired, I still have to put in that work. And if that man comes to me, and especially if I'm married, because then my body belongs to him. So that is more so when we're saying put in that work, because I need to submit to my husband or him to his wife.
I guess to throw a little, comedy in there. It's like, back in the day, that's what they used to say, put in that work, man. Go ahead, put in that work. I mean, you had to get in there and do your thing. And they tell you, you're not putting in your work. That was back in the day for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not putting that work in.
Yeah, that makes sense, Makes sense.
But you know what? I tell my sons and my daughter, a marriage, a relationship is work. You have to put in work in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about a physical thing, where you're toiling, but it takes you learning different things, learning what your mate likes, learning, what it gets you guys together in a happy place.
Trying new things.
It takes work to find those things out. It just doesn't come.
I guess when you say the word work too, see, my thing is a lot of stuff can be fun. See, work to me isn't fun. Work is just like, hey, when I put in work, that's me trying to think of new concepts, new ideas, all that stuff. We like I said, that's my generation saying when we in love, we just want to be a little more free with it. We want to just flow. We want to come out. We want to express. You know what I mean? But we understand it takes all that to do it. We just don't necessarily define it as work. What we associate as work, we don't want to associate that really. When we say, hey, I'm going to work, I'm doing this, we don't want to associate it with that. That has a negative connotation with our generation. So we say, hey, you know what? Let's express, let's show, let's do. We don't necessarily classify that as that. You know what I mean? It's only because it's only by definition. We're looking at it by really, truly definition of what we're looking at as far as work is concerned.
Taking it literal.
You know? Yeah, exactly. We take it, we're taking it more on a literal sense because that's just how we starting to look at things. You know what I mean? So it's like Megan said to me, she said, well, Jeff, dating and relationships, it should be fun. It should be fun. The whole time when I'm learning, you learning me, we should have fun during this. And I'm in agreement with her. We should always have fun with it. So that's how we never lose the spark. That's how we plan on to keep stuff going within our marriage, our relationship, us being together. Always learning and always striving to make everything fun.
I just sat in there and was quiet because I just wanted to hear everything. So basically, what you guys are just saying is, be in love, man. Love is great. Love is beautiful. And there's a great difference between being in love and just loving somebody. You can't, and it's just me saying this, you can't fall in love with somebody that won't fight for you. Because when the real fight come up, they're not going to be around to pull your heart to safety. They'll only take care of themselves. So find somebody who has you. And fellas, I've always said this too: soothe a woman's soul. All of this sex and all of this junk. If you soothe a woman's soul, she'll give you everything that you ever wanted in a relationship. Just soothe her soul, and you're good. All right, that's dope living right there. Anyway, that's how we did this today. We talked about sex and intimacy. I think we've thoroughly answered that. Okay. So tomorrow,
Passing.
We have the
Passing, the movie Passing.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
But tomorrow, everybody understand that the business tour is coming up November the 18th, 19th.
That's Saturday, isn't
it? Friday.
See where it says Friday?
Yeah, no.
It's Friday the 19th?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming up Friday the 19th, and it's in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be 5 influential people giving us all kind of advice, all kind of gems, words to live by. Jeff, about it. Jeff, you can talk about it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you, brother.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's gonna be 5 of us. We're gonna have. We call ourselves a cure, and with it, we just trying to bring some information to business owners. Like I'm gonna be opening it up, like talk about the mindset of a business owner, and then we're gonna have Matt on there, Matthew Santana with Brandon. We'll have Jennifer Williams with personal credit, and a little bit of business credit. We'll have Neapolis Malik Malachi. Hitting more so on the business credit as well, and also the trust factor of it. And we also going to have Carl Weatherspoon talk about health. We just trying to cover all bases, from the mindset to the physical aspect of the business owner as well. So y'all come out to Nashville if you can. Support us. Tickets only $25. They still gonna be $25 at the door too. So we're not trying to price gouge nobody, but we just trying to share the information, and we want to make it affordable and easy for everybody to attain.
There you go, and we want to support that, okay? And are some of the panelists coming on tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll have a few on tomorrow. Everybody can't be on. A couple people have some stuff to do, but I plan on having at least 3 of us on.
That's cool. So
y'all flying in or driving?
We flying in. Yeah, we'll be flying. We'll get there around 3, a little after 3:30.
Dang.
On that Thursday.
So that's
Thursday.
Thursday. That's what's going on tomorrow on the show. We're going to talk to the panelists of The Cure, see what they're about, see what they're going. Lanita says, off subject, did anyone watch GPTC live this evening? A lot of good information on new buses, a new transportation office building, et cetera, et cetera. No, I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't either. That's Scary Public Transportation.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Lanita. We're all from Gary, so we definitely want to support what's going on there too. Tomorrow, like I said, the Cure. We're going to talk about that, see what's going on, and see exactly what they're going to give us this Friday. We also are going to talk about not tomorrow, but another day. We're going to talk about some shoes. I didn't get it at first, but you know what? Shoes. I think it's going to be an interesting topic. Okay, I'm not going to bring all my shoes. I'm not going to bring any of my shoes out on that day. Okay, but
my dad always said shoes make the man.
Yeah, well, we talk about that. What? Because we'll talk about that. Okay, we talk about shoes. I think we and we'll have more to talk about through the week. All right, and I think we're going to start if we can panel. Let's give them a preview every day of what we're going to talk about that next day, so that they'll know what to expect. Get ready, come through, get your pens and pads together and take down notes, because that's what we do here at Dope Living TV Live. We are here.
Dope Living.
Can I ask a question real quick?
We are here to inform. Marcelo, what's your question?
Can we take consensus with our audience as well to shoot out different topics that they might want us to talk about as well?
Okay, you got to explain what consensus is, because a lot of them might be remedial. I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about that behind stage.
Just send in suggestions for future shows. That's all.
There you go. The hell she means. Go ahead, Maury. But Maurice was talking today about poking.
He said that.
I don't know where that came from.
Maurice had the sound effects.
Look, wait a minute. Look at his little finger. Little finger on it.
Hey, girl.
He said pokings.
He said, hey, girl.
Marcel and Gina were talking about screwing. I was going to put a screwdriver up here and be like, okay. I ain't going to say mine no more because I played that out now. You defined one word for that, but it's okay. But we definitely want to make sure that we keep you guys informed about every little thing that goes on in the world, be it sexual, be it financial, be it whatever. That's what Dope Living TV does. Okay? I take notes every day.
I just said he was taking notes.
I take notes every day. I can show you. Man, look.
I'm so proud of him.
I didn't take notes on this. I already knew about this. I take notes on everything. And when I take notes, here's a behind the scenes thing. I take notes on each and every one. I look at the mannerisms. I look at whether anybody's looking right there. Look at that camera. You see that dot on there? You got to look at that camera. Engage your audience. Make sure you look at it. I know we sometimes read, but I make sure that when I do read, most of my stuff is anyway. Y'all want to hear that? This is Dope Living TV Live, okay? Y'all, everybody on here, y'all hang out for a second, okay?
Peace.
Good night.
Yeah, that's about it. Okay, I gotta cue it up though. I'm trying to cue it up right
Hey,
now.
what about that music? What about the music?
Hey, dude, make sure that when y'all see these people run,
don't promote that anymore.
Run.
See these people
Not promote it anymore. I think it's dead now.
Hey, and you can cash app this dude anytime you get ready. All right, just throw the cash app, throw it at him. He'll take it because he got to get rid of that sweater. He need a new sweater. All right.
He looking like I need.
Hey, all them folks right there. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. Make sure you support Nerd Naturals as well, man. Go over there and get you some holistic, whatever. I can't even talk about it, but check out Uma Farouk. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here now for real, y'all. But before I go.
Script time.
I don't think so.
You get paid for that?
Nah, I ain't even do it, dude. Dope Living TV Live, y'all. We'll see you guys tomorrow, all right?